Joining us now to talk about the updates within the environmental department at Town Hall is Michelle Gartland, environmental and project analyst. Michelle, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So Michelle, could you tell us a little bit about your position at Town Hall as an analyst?
Okay, so here in West Bloomfield, there are a large amount of wetlands and woodlands in the township. So our goal here and the goal of my position is to help regulate and protect those protected areas and regulated areas, such as wetlands, woodlands, lakes, streams, floodways, floodplains, anything that has to do with those areas in the environment. So basically we go out there and make sure that those areas stay protected, that residents are aware that they are regulated areas. If they're not, we inform them of the rules and regulations of those areas, such as, things as tree removal or areas within 25 feet of a lake. Those areas cannot be touched. It's homes and areas that are regulated for creatures and critters. So we just keep those areas safe throughout the township.
Michelle, will you tell us a little bit about what makes a woodland or wetland protected and regulated in West Bloomfield Township?
Sure. So for woodlands, there's areas that are deemed regulated, and those are areas just to keep preserved throughout the township, to keep habitat for creatures, critters, animals, and as well as homes for animals and natural vegetated areas, so that we do have green areas in the township. For the lakes, obviously it's a lake, and then there's a 25-foot buffer within the lake that cannot be touched, so that there's no, such as fertilizers that can't creep into our waters and start growing algae and having a buildup of chemicals in the water. There's the streams that run through areas, so those areas are considered and fall under our wetland ordinance.
And Michelle, could you talk about some of those ordinances and those rules and regulations that you guys in the environmental department have set for those protected woodlands and wetlands?
Yes. So like I said, the areas for the woodland, those areas are on our township map, and it's a regulated area. So just means that those areas cannot be touched. Sometimes there's areas on those regulated woodlands that are trees that are dangerous, dying, diseased. If homeowners have an area like that or a tree of concern, they would contact us. I would go out there, take a look at it, and give approval to remove it or not. If it's not considered an imminent danger, we do not allow them to remove it. We like to keep that area and those trees there for habitat for animals, creatures, critters. For our wetlands areas, it's not just if an area is wet. It depends on the soil hydrology, and you can tell by vegetation that grows in that area as well. So wetlands, some residents may have an eye for that, but if there's ever a question about if an area is a regulated wetland, you can contact me at the township, and we can come out to your property and determine if the area is regulated or not. So the lakes, are regulated wetlands, which may be hard for some people to decipher. And there's also floodplains that you can jump onto the FEMA website and determine if it's an area as a regulated floodplain or floodway area.
Michelle, could we talk a little bit about what happens if a resident of West Bloomfield violates some of those rules, regulations, ordinances that you guys have set in place? What was the process of that? Obviously, you guys go out and figure out if they have violated those ordinances, but what happens throughout that process?
Right, sure. So we usually, we go out there, and if somebody has violated their ordinance, in most cases they're not aware that they are in a regulated area. So I go out there, I assess the area or the damage that has been done, take pictures. I come back to the township, and I create a letter for them informing them that they must apply for a permit and go before the Environmental Commission. That's for both wetland, woodland, and environmental feature setback. They have to come up with a restoration plan or a mitigation plan, depending what violation it is. They present their case before the Environmental Commission, and then they will determine what needs to be done in order to restore or repair the area that they had damaged due to not knowing that's in a regulated area.
Michelle, as we head into the springtime, do you guys in the environmental department see any uptick in those violations of the ordinances that you guys have here in the environmental department?
Yes, for sure. I mean, with spring comes spring cleanup. So some people just get a little bit too crazy on going in close to regulated areas. They want to take care of any deadfall or any debris that has accumulated on properties. But again, we want to remind people that there are protected areas, with the woodlands. And if a tree has fallen, sometimes you just have to leave that tree there. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, some people may find that beautiful and some people may not. But we do have to keep it there because it is providing so much habitat for all these little creatures that are there that we cannot see to the eye. So we just have to keep that there. But yeah, so we do see an increase in violators, but please, if you have any question at all, if you can touch a certain area of your property or if it's protected or not, please give us a call here at the Township.
Michelle, as we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience about how to keep the West Bloomfield environment clean this spring?
Yes. Again, just, check with us first. Again, and then the big time of year right now is fertilizing. Just please remember, if you're within 25 feet or even actually a 50-foot buffer, please do not fertilize that area. We want to keep that area protected, the water's clean, and just keep our environment overall clean here at West Bloomfield Township.
Well, Michelle, we appreciate you joining us here on the Splash Live. Thanks so much.
Yep, thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you.